Death rides a steel horse. Gunner, sabot, tank. I see a pair of alien vehicles in my optic. A fairly conventional design at first glance, with a boxy hull and a large gun in what looks like an unmanned turret. Two things stick out to me. Firstly, they appear to be floating. Thirdly, their guns look like nothing I've ever seen before. I decide to go for the one whose turret appears to be looking towards us. Traverse left. My gunner moves his joystick and centers the target in his gun sight. On. I glance over to the loader, who is just starting to ram the sabot round into the gun breech. A 1.5 meter long silver dart encased in propellant. A genie that can bring about a single wish, to be identifiable by dental records alone. Another 24 rounds of this type grace the turret ammunition rack, along with other, different shells. My gunner shouts into the intercom identified. He brings the laser rangefinder to life with a press of a button, and the range indicator in the bottom of the optic changes to 1,630 meters. The briefing this morning said the invaders' vehicles have poor armor against kinetic projectiles. We have to hope. Up. The loader has finished his job and has stood clear of the breach, flipping an arming lever. Tanks are built to kill and maim, but they don't care who. The recoil of the gun can as easily hurt one of the crew as can the projectiles fired by it hurt the enemy. I scream the order everybody has been waiting for the past 5 seconds. Fire. On the way, a near-splitting bang spreads through the vehicle. I hear it with my chest more than with my ears. Truth be told, the rush is still as exciting now as it was in armor school. I see the burning magnesium tracer in the back of the sabot fly towards the enemy. It takes 2 seconds for the round to find its mark. The impact produces a shower of sparks. A heartbeat later, the vehicle's hover system fails and it falls to the ground. I see a hatch open. Then, I turn my attention to the second enemy vehicle. Next target, traverse right. The gunner centers the gun sight on the other vehicle. Its gun is slowly turning towards us. Unidentified up fire. On the way, the gunner presses down the firing pedal with his foot. Silence. Misfire. The loader screams the dreaded word as he rushes to clear the faulty round from the breech. The enemy's gun is now pointing straight at us. I need to get us out of here. Driver, backwards. The engine behind us screams with effort as the driver slams the gas pedal. Just as the whining tracks overcome friction with the ground beneath us, I see it. A ball of blue light exits the invader's gun. My stomach sinks into the ground. Faster. We just managed to clear our pre-prepared position in the tree line when the alien projectile slams into the ground in front of us. I inspected the impact site later. Several larger stones were molten together. Up. The loader managed to insert a new, hopefully functioning round into the breech. Not knowing the enemy's capabilities, and, arguably, high on adrenaline, I did what I was taught not to do: gamble. Driver, steady forward out of the tree line. Gunner, stand by to engage. The tanker's mission is to destroy the enemy through fire, maneuver and shock effect. I decided to try using all three at the same time. As we cleared the tree line, I used the commander's override to quickly swing the gun onto the enemy tank. Gunner, sabot, tank. Unidentified fire on the way. The round didn't fail us this time. We fired the sabot while driving at 25 miles per hour. It finds its mark nonetheless. Half a second later, the vehicle's hatches burst open as flames shot out from inside the vehicle. Breathing a sigh of relief, I switch my optic to thermal and begin to scan the area for more targets. After turning the sight about 30 degrees right, I spotted another of the invaders' tanks about 800 meters away staring directly at me. As I feel my heart almost stop once again, I see a missile detonate on the vehicle's side armor. Stunned for a second, I hear a voice on the radio: Cossack 2-2, this is Dragoon Actual, we've got you covered. The mechanized infantry came to save our asses. They were supposed to arrive an hour ago, to plug the gap that was open when the rest of our platoon was pulled from the line to prepare for a counterattack elsewhere, and me and my crew were alone left to guard this portion of the front. But now, after the most tense 15 minutes of my life, Cossack 2-2 can rest a little bit, knowing that friends are near. Warriors I've fought with for years, gone in a handful of minutes. They must have been overwhelmed. There is no other way. It was one tank. My vehicle was destroyed. I escaped because I was lucky. Let me tell you something, they're tanks, death rides in them. Long time no see. A quick and dirty story that popped into my head. P.S. If any actual tanker sees this, subdue your rage. Artistic liberties were taken.